For decades, London operated as the primary vault for the world's ultra-wealthy. At the start of 2026, at least 20 globally tracked billionaires maintain their family offices in the UK, collectively overseeing more than $450 billion in assets. Wealthy families parked their capital here because the city offered a predictable legal system, easy geographic access to global markets, and institutional prestige. The British capital served as a highly efficient, neutral holding ground where dynastic wealth could be managed, grown, and passed down across generations. That infrastructure is now being dismantled. In April 2026, final paperwork was filed to wind down NNS Advisers, a private family office managing up to $5 billion from its base in Mayfair. The architect behind this closure is Nassef Sawiris. He is Egypt's wealthiest individual, the chairman of OCI Global, and the majority shareholder of Aston Villa Football Club. He didn't leave overnight. This closure marks the end of a deliberate 2-year withdrawal that included quietly exporting personal artworks, rare books, and sculptures out of the United Kingdom. His departure is part of a larger trend of African dynastic capital exiting British jurisdiction. What specific policy shift forced these billionaires to pack up their operations, and where exactly are they taking their billions? This map shows how the UK's historical tax structure operated. For 2 centuries, Britain offered what was called non-domicile status. If you were a foreign national living in the UK, you only paid taxes on income and assets generated inside Britain. Your global wealth was shielded. That protection ended on April 6, 2026. The UK government abolished the non-dom status, exposing global fortunes to British taxation. Looking at this breakdown of Sawiris' $10 billion fortune, the scale of the problem becomes clear. With a portfolio spanning chemicals, real estate, and a 6% stake in Adidas, his liability under the new law would be substantial. For fortunes of this magnitude, a policy shift that taxes foreign income often makes geographic residency untenable. A financial hub is only as attractive as its incentives. When those incentives are removed, capital moves to protect itself. Sawiris executed his departure in a 3-step sequence. First, in July 2024, he registered the NNS Group in the Abu Dhabi global market. By setting up in the Emirate, he secured a zero-tax corporate base with world-class institutional and legal infrastructure. Second, he began severing administrative ties, formally resigning as a director of his London branch in November 2024. Finally, in early 2025, he moved his personal residency out of the UK and into Italy. This graphic illustrates why Italy is currently attracting these billionaires. The country offers a flat tax regime that levies a fixed annual charge of €200,000 on all foreign-sourced income, regardless of the size of the fortune. Investment capital follows the principal holding it. Sawiris moved to the jurisdictions offering the most favorable mathematical protection for his assets. Sawiris is part of a broader shift in where these families choose to operate. Mohamed Mansour, chairman of the Mansour Group and another prominent African billionaire, also ended his UK residency last year. His exit is notable because Mansour was highly integrated into the British establishment, holding a knighthood and a senior role as treasurer of the Conservative Party. When figures with this level of social and political connection to Britain relocate, it signals that the city's legal and social infrastructure is no longer enough to retain global capital against lower tax competitors. For Africa's wealthiest families, this movement represents a permanent jurisdictional realignment. The predictability of London's legal framework no longer offsets the loss of its unique tax protections. The underlying businesses themselves remain robust. OCI Global continues to function as a major industrial force, and the value of assets like Aston Villa continues to appreciate. The change is strictly a matter of where that wealth is legally domiciled. The management of that wealth is being absorbed by competing hubs like Abu Dhabi and Milan, which are actively courting these family offices with long-term residency structures. The policy shift effectively removed the primary reason these families chose London over Dubai or Geneva. As a result, African dynastic capital is moving east, following a path that is both methodical and permanent.